Hello, today I would like to introduce and demonstrate mail merge. Mail merge is a wonderful tool that allows you to save both time and energy by creating custom documents based on two different sources that you'll combine. Those two sources include, first, a form letter or some type of static content, and secondly, a data source. In our case, we'll use a list of names and addresses. By combining these two, we're able to print letters and envelopes that are customized for each individual. So please follow along as I demonstrate how to complete a mail merge. So the first step to performing a mail merge is to open up Microsoft Word. Once you have Microsoft Word open, you can see that there is a Mailings tab on the ribbon. So let's go ahead and click there. Once I've clicked on the Mailings tab, you'll see all of the icons, some of them not yet available, that we'll be using to perform our mail merge. I want to show you how to add an envelope. So first off, let's click on Envelopes, and you'll see that it brings up a box, and it has delivery address and return address. So I'm going to put in my return address because I just want to have that show up on all of the envelopes. And so I can put it in here in one place, and then I'll have it available to me on all envelopes. Next, I'm going to click on Add to Document, and it's going to ask me, do you want this to be your default? If I put in my real address, I'd probably say yes there, but I'm going to say no. And that'll bring up an envelope. Now I can bring down the cursor, I can tab over, and I can insert information here. So that's how you can create an envelope. Now, in order to save time, I've already pre-built a demonstration file, so let me just flip over to that file. So you can see here everything I have in red, that's the information that I'd like to insert into this letter. So instead of insert title, I'd like to actually have someone's title. So the first thing I'm going to do is I need to go to the Mailings tab, and I'm looking to try to merge data in, so I need to actually link to a list of names and addresses. There's a couple of ways to do that. One is I can drop down this list and I can choose Use Existing List. That could be a spreadsheet, it could be a database, or as we can see below, it could be Microsoft Outlook. So if you already have the names of friends and family or your customers in Outlook, you can easily connect to Outlook here by just saying Select from Outlook. We don't actually have an existing list yet, so I'm going to say Type a New List. This is going to bring up a simple box that allows me to type a new list. I'm going to go ahead and expand it, and I'm just going to go ahead and put in some information. So I've entered in 3 records, and I'm just going to click OK. Now it's going to ask me at this point, what do I want to save this data list as? So I want to name it Data for Demonstration. So we're going to go ahead and hit Save. But once that list is created, now I can just say Use Existing List. And this is where many of your second and third, fourth attempts at mail merge will start out, is you'll start out by connecting to an existing source. So I'm going to select my Data for Demonstration, and I'm going to just double click on that, and now you'll notice that some of my icons are now available. Let's actually insert some fields. So I'm going to go ahead and delete out all these placeholders, and instead I'm going to come up and do Insert Field, and I'm going to do First Name. Actually, what I want to do first is I want to do title. So I'll do Insert Title, and I need to put a space in there because it's actually going to replace these exactly with the names. So if I don't put a space in there, then there won't be a space between Mr. or Mrs. and their first name. So I'm going to come down here to the end. I'm going to skip a space again, insert again, last name. Then I'm going to hit Enter to move down. Insert address line 1, and then enter down again, and I'm going to insert city, comma, state, space, zip. Now if I click on preview, you'll see the results of what I've done. It actually will replace those placeholders with the actual names, and I'm just scrolling through to show that it automatically switches between the 3 names. So I'm going to take preview back off, and I would note that again it shows the names exactly the same way that the placeholders are formatted. So if I have this first name field red, when I click preview it makes the first name red. So if I want to change that, I can go up here and change that, and now when I click preview, it's going to be all in black. So I'm going to skip down here to the bottom, and you can see that I have basically the same block of information, their address information. This time I'm going to show you that I can do it even more simply than choosing each field individually. I can actually do an entire address block. So I'm going to go ahead and click on address block up here at the top, and it's going to ask me how do I want things to look, so I can choose different formats, and it's going to allow me to preview it over here to the side so I can see, scrolling through all three options, that it looks appropriate, and I can click OK. But now what is shown up here is all covered by an item called address block. So you can see now that that address block is really the fastest way to accomplish what I did up here. But what I wanted to show you up at the top at first is that you can actually merge any field from that data source. So there's a lot more control with the insert merge field, because you can insert just one or more fields at exactly the place that you want them. In addition, I want to add a greeting line. I actually use the greeting line button, and it's going to show me exactly what it'll look like. So again, I can preview it. And this drop down basically relates to what is Word supposed to do if, for example, I'm missing somebody's first name. It'll either use Dear Sir or Madam, or To Whom It May Concern, or I can have it do nothing. And I can click OK, and it's going to insert that greeting line. And now, if I come up here and demonstrate again by doing preview, you can see it's got all three are kept in sync. Now the reason I showed you inserting a specific field is it always adds a nice touch if you actually put the person's name or some specific information about them in the letter. So in this case, I can't use an address block or a greeting line. I really just want their first name. So I deleted out the placeholder for first name, and now I'm just going to insert that field so it matches the rest of the letter. And now if I hit preview, you can see it's going to say thank you, Sarah. And so it's going to automatically insert that, and that allows you to customize the letter. At this point, I would recommend that you save. And I always save this because if I ever want to come back and say send another letter, an envelope, I can reuse this. And I'm just going to save it. And so the next step I want to do is I want to actually go in and make this merge official. Now I want to actually print these, so there are two options here. One is print, and that would basically just send 3 envelopes and 3 letters straight to the printer. But I actually want to kind of proofread and double check, make sure everything looks right before I print. So what I want to do is actually I want to choose edit individual documents. It's going to ask me which records to use. I want to use all of them, so I'm going to click OK. And what I'll get is a new document that's named Letters 1, and if I scroll down, I'll find an envelope for Sam Smith, a letter for Sam Smith, then an envelope for John Bunyan, and a letter for John Bunyan, and a letter for Sarah, and an envelope for Sarah. And so basically, with as quick and easy as that is, I've now got my 3 letters and my 3 envelopes. So now I could click print, and I would get the information that I need in. Now I could also save this, and I would recommend that you do save. And the reason I like to save is because it gives you a permanent record of the letters that went out that day. This gives me some record to be able to come back and open this file and see exactly what was sent to the customer. You'll notice that if I come to mailings, I cannot change back to the pre-merge settings where I actually had fields listed, because this document does not know that it's a mail merge anymore. So that's why I had you save it before creating this document, because I can't easily reuse this document if I wanted to complete another merge. I hope you found this demonstration of mail merge helpful. As mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, mail merge can be a real productivity enhancer, as it helps you to work smarter and not harder, save time and energy. Whether your data source includes 3 records or 3,000 records, mail merge can be used to combine custom documents that are tailored for each recipient. You can also send the documents out via email, or they can be sent out via print. Thank you for your time.